frown on my face, sleeping rough off the road. I'll tell you all about it when I get home. Come around to meet you the long way down.
We're going to ride 15,000 miles through 18 countries.
From John O'Groat through Europe and into Africa.
Across Libya to Egypt, following the Nile south into the Sudan.
Crossing the equator and over to the Skeleton Coast.
Arriving in Cape Town 85 days later.
We're going to give these guys video cameras, and they'll also have cameras with microphones on their crash helmets so they can film as they're riding along.
Oh, there's a bit of tarmac. Oh, look at that.
A third motorcycle will travel with them, and on that motorcycle will be Claudio, a cameraman. In addition, Russ and I will travel in 2 4x4s with Jimmy, another cameraman, Di, our medic, and Jim, a cameraman who will help with security. We'll be filming the guys from the vehicles, linking up with them at borders, but otherwise the motorcycles will be on their own.
Shattered, yeah. Just a bit fed up, really.
I tell you, it was a real struggle getting here this time, wasn't it?
I'm determined that we're going to get over this little sad, unhappy hump that we've been having the last few days.
We hadn't spent that much time on the route, really, so I think we're paying for it now.
I've never seen anything like it. It's brilliant.
It's those moments, those slap-in-the-face moments, you know, when you suddenly realise where you are.
For me, it feels like an exercise in how long can we ride a bike for before someone has a crash.
Sit down.
Mark here. Looks like you did a bit of a pirouette just here.
I'm starting to get a bit bored of being the guy who falls over all the time. Because I can hear all the off-road guys coming up to me in, you know, restaurants and stuff going, oh, you fall off a lot, don't you? But at the same time, it's true, I do fall off a lot. And that's upsetting me. But at the same time, I've been riding a lot. I'm just trying to explain why it looks like I fall off a lot. Because I do, that's why. If you want to come up and tell me in a restaurant that I fall off a lot, don't think twice about it, because I might just tell you to fuck off if you do, okay? Getting a bit bored of falling off now, really. So's my bike. Fucking bike. Okay, got it?
Yep.
You know, I keep mashing my bike up.
Okay, hang on. I think it's just that's fallen down, you know.
Oh dear, this crash bar doesn't look very good.
Oh yes, it's had a dent here, but it's just pushed back a little bit. That's all right. Ewan had a quite tough day today. I think he really struggled today, and I think partly because we're all just shattered and we've been on the road. I haven't had a proper break for ages, and I think we're just suffering now. We're scheduled to stop and have a rest for a few days in Addis Ababa. We've just got to get there safely. The thought of getting to the hotel tonight just sounds great. I mean, we've not got too far to go, really.
It doesn't help the enjoyment factor because you're fatigued all the time. The group dynamic can go up and down as well as a result of people just being tired, I think.
We always promised each other that we wouldn't ride at night in Africa because it's dangerous. But we made it. That's all that matters.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you very much.
Everything came to a head here today in Addis Ababa. It was a really difficult, emotional and quite largely unpleasant morning. I just go through it quickly. I mean, I think Charlie and I have been slightly out of sorts with each other for a little while now.
Some people have a filter between their brain and mouth, and I don't think I have a filter between my brain and mouth. Maybe I blame my dyslexia for that, but things just seem to come out.
Started over little things like, planning and route planning. We got to spend a night on the lake, because I'll have my wife there, then get nice.
Forget that, we're not going there.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely. It looks nice. Differences of opinion about this, that, the other. Probably just slightly different styles of travelling, different needs and desires from the trip itself.
I think one of the problems has been that we've just had this massive amount of mileage to do.
So we have to get through Libya and all of Egypt in 6 days, 5 days, because it takes at least a day to get through the Egyptian border.
It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like arriving day in, day out late in places. I'm just shagged. It's just too much.
Just a bit shattered, yeah. Just a bit fed up, really. Ultimately, all I want is to feel that I've soaked up as much of Africa as I can, that I feel that I know it a bit better. And I'm not talking about learning about historical facts or Roman ruins this or, the date of this war. I'm not talking about that. I just want to feel Africa's spirit. I want to feel like as I've moved through it, I've soaked it up.
I think I'm a natural worrier anyway, and I worry about everybody. And I worry about being places on time. And I mean, at home, if someone says, let's meet in the pub at 8 o'clock, I'm there at 5 to 8, and everyone else rocks up at 8:30.
But seriously, I'd rather not get to Cape Town and feel that I've really experienced the countries I've gone through than get to Cape Town and feel like I haven't. And that's the truth.
We had that moment yesterday where we touched bottom, I guess, is really no other way of saying we went through the paint and got to the metal. We got to the bare metal yesterday, and it was we didn't film it because it wasn't pretty,
So what it's done is has really cleared the air. Russ and Dave have been extremely helpful.
We talked about how we felt, and we talked about what needed to change and what we each wanted to happen, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant because we each got everything off our chest that we need to get off our chest.
The first thing, I suppose, is for you guys to openly and honestly say, what do you want to see?
Yeah.
Africa's out there, isn't it?
Rwanda. The other thing for me, obviously, is when Ev comes out in Malawi.
For me, Botswana is massively important.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a marriage, really. And so there's no reason, if you're living together with a very close friend for a long period of time,
Is that ready?
that you're going to have an argument every so often.
I think Charlie and I forgot one of the most important things, which is to talk to one another and be honest with one another. And it had to get to a point where it exploded. And through that, we go, look, all I want is to be having a good time with you, and I don't want us to feel like we're struggling through this, and getting by and getting to Cape Town. What a terrible shame that would be, and it would result in us not being friends anymore,
And there's a completely different spirit in the camp, I would say.
No, I'm good. Everybody is so ready to really tackle the second half of the trip.
I think we've all agreed to try and enjoy the trip a bit more and actually just immerse ourselves in Africa.
It's going to be good, and the morale's great, and
I'm ready to go.
We're about to leave Addis Ababa. We've had a very up and down 3 days off here. We had a good rest. We all feel really good today. We all feel much better for it. So we're going to head down towards Shishemi where the Rastafari are. Rasta.
Crazy trucks, crazy places, but it is nice to be back on the road. It's been a very emotional 3 or 4 days. Look at this here, Charlie and Ewan coffee break. Have you seen this? What's that? I think we should stop. It's a flower plantation. Hello. Salam. How bizarre.
How did the signpost come up?
Well, it's a long story, but my colleague from the other side told me about your program. We said, yeah, let's make a sign, because this is the only route they can take to go to Kenya if they're coming from Sudan. We finished our sign, let's say 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, do you? Oh, really? Yeah. So it's been out there for 2 or 3 days.
And now we've been watching your internet site, but it's always.
It's always. Yeah.
2 days behind.
No, we're an absolutely fantastic bunch of guys, and I'm really excited that we'd actually stopped. It's an extraordinary thing to do. It's a lovely thing to do.
Seeing as well, I've never been at a flower plantation before ever. Could you show us around?
Yeah.
Could we get a little coffee first?
Yeah. You know what Addis Ababa means?
No.
No, Ababa means flower and Addis means new. Actually, new flower.
Right.
But since 2 years ago we started here, and it's amazing what is happening in this country.
New crop.
Goodness me.
Wow.
Look at that.
We've been there for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then the first roots start to grow.
Crazy.
So these are all the mother plants that they take all the cuttings from to seed.
Yeah, we are in an ornamental plant.
Pretending I know what I'm talking about now.
What they have done, though, is between the 3 farms, it's about 3,000 people are employed a year, and it's steady work, which is amazing. Whereas before, the locals, only get seasonal work when harvest time comes along or whatever. And then they suggested that we come to this little lodge, which is on the lake here, Lake Logan, Logie, Fogie, something like that. And it is one of the most beautiful little places.
So we're going to Fishingeri Lodge.
That man is going to show us how to get there. He said, well, I'll show you the way. Jumped on the back of my bike. We rode him all the way down here. It must have taken us 40 minutes. And I said to him when we got here, so how are you going to get home? And he went, no, I'll stay here and I'll go back with you tomorrow. Have they got 3 rooms, John?
Yeah, they got
number. And then I said to the guys, when we checked in, I said, what about this wee boy's mum? Will his mother be worried?
No.
It's okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
So we'll see you tomorrow, and you'll lead us back.
Okay.
I'll give you some money tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
He's come from quite far away to show us the place. Won't his mum be worried? And they were like, no. So, there we are. My British sensibilities.
You see all these little individual lodges. I just wished my wife, Ollie, was here.
Wow. Oh, it's beautiful.
So often I've been to these bizarre places and just wished Ollie was here.
Wow, beautiful.
Maybe come back one day.
Oh, this is amazing.
There's a bird with a big head. There's a bird with a white side panel here. A duck thing. Welcome to Ewan's Wildlife here in Africa. Oh. Shechem is the area where all the Rastas are.
We're coming up to our destination, which is the Rastafari town.
I was in Jamaica at Christmas and I knew that there was this big link with Ethiopia, so we're going to find out here today.
My name is Gladstone Robinson. I'm the oldest settler here.
Nice to meet you.
Of course, we believe His Imperial Majesty is the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And we worship Him as our Savior.
Yeah, we'd love to come in. Thank you.
And you see, the Emperor gave us this beautiful land as a gift.
What is the link between Ethiopia and Jamaica? And
the Bible even says a small country or far off, when they hear of me, they will bow and worship me as God. And we know that the Emperor was coronated King of Kings, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. He was coronated, and 52 nations bowed. So then we said, that's royal connection. I got a little girl running around here at 6 years old. And the Bible said when you have children in your old age, you are blessed. So I'm 77. And I'm still going strong. Although I'm a little sick today, but God has blessed me.
I'm still none the wiser, really. I need to find out a bit more. I need to find out a bit more about it. Still don't really understand.
Danny, what happened? The guy has had severe diarrhea for the last couple of days. He fainted. I've given him some rehydration solution, some tablets. He went to the toilet and he's just fainted again on the toilet. That's it really. I'm just trying to find my oxygen mask.
Robinson, who's the old bloke who was showing us round, had a funny turn and Di's in there, our medic's in there with Jim.
Give you some oxygen, okay? Just breathe normally and it'll come in quite good. You'll feel more comfortable.
We're all very worried. Luckily, we have a couple of medics on board, and they tended to him. But at one point, his wife started screaming, wailing, like he had died.
Let me just take the oxygen off, Jim, and see what he's like on air.
Hang on a minute.
97 on air is very good, okay? Which is what you are now. When we found you, you were at 90. That's not good.
Look at that.
Well, we'll pack our stuff up because you seem pretty good now, Gladstone.
I'm ready to run a race.
No, you're not.
No.
Take care. Bye-bye. We checked his the pulse in his wrist, and he didn't have one. He was very, very cold, so we started suspecting the worst, and it was due to his dehydration. He had no radial pulse.
We're heading for the Kenyan border. We've been in Ethiopia now about 11 or 12 days.
The border that we're about to cross is the border that we're most worried about, because it's the reports back about this border are the ones that say it's the highest likelihood of something happening.
I wonder what Kenya will be like. We're going to the border now, so hopefully it's later on today that we'll be in Kenya. It's just so African. It's so African here!
This is stunning ride.
This is a road not to forget. It's a long way down, all the way to Cape Town. Wheels that go around, it's a long way down.
We're in Kenya, yeah, and apparently we can't stop until we get to this place, which is 5 hours away, which means more like 7 hours on bikes. So I don't know.
What time is it now? 2? 3 o'clock. Great. And it's all horrible off-road sun.
How are you, old man?
The road from Moyale to about Turbi is not bad, it's good gravel.
Okay.
But then we come to a rocky bit, it's really rough, so I was hoping we'll get there before dark. It was quite not very easy.
There was nowhere really to camp in between here and there, this lodge, because it's all rocky, and secondly because of security.
If it comes worse to the worst, then we possibly have to camp, but it's not far, we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll push you.
Right, we get some fuel then, shall we?
Okay. So just
We're definitely not going to make it to this lodge. There's no question of that.
Smells right.
Fixer said it's 5 hours drive. And traditionally, anything that's 5 hours drive for us is 7 hours,
People get tired, and we've had a long day already. We've done 200 and something miles already today. So, why bother doing another 200 miles, 180 miles, in the dark? It's just stupid.
Are you going to drive in the dark? No. Exactly what I'm talking about. I'm a bit worried about it, I suppose. I'm a bit trepidatious. I mean, you've heard nothing but the first part of northern Kenya is just awful. Sand, rocks.
Kenya. This gentleman is called Kenya. Kenya police, they are basically used as protection for all vehicles moving up and down this road, the Trans-African Highway. That is the importance of the securities, to protect us. They are well trained for combat between the shifters. So if anything should happen, they will be the first people to try and protect us.
So we are going to start the journey now.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
This time around it's me for a change. It's again the rear shock is gone. What do you do in such a situation? You just wait for Charlie and Ewan.
Which is it, the front or the back, Claudio?
The back.
Oh look, the oil's come out of it, look.
Yeah.
It's completely gone.
With all that practice in Ethiopia, there's up a little bit. Oh, not too down a bit. This is expanded. It's broken, so it's too big.
It's too big.
Do you see what I mean?
20 minutes already, look.
Claudio, we're meant to be lifting the bike, mate. Strike that. Going in.
No. We haven't got any single ones, have we? Pull it out.
I need the, can you give me the bigger handle and the larger one?
12 for you.
Here, if you that's that a 10.
Yeah.
That's the right.
A nice line.
Yeah, no problem. That's all right.
The cars arrived and we managed to use their jack to release the pressure on the spring. We don't need to, so now putting all the stuff back on.
So, yeah, please.
It's going to be dark in about 45 minutes.
Ratchet.
And we're basically in that zone that we talked about where they're saying it's bandit country, so we do want to camp before it's dark. But obviously this bike isn't going anywhere until it fixes the shock.
We're just going to see if we can compress
That's
the
a
spring
very
a bit.
clever thing, that spring compressor.
This will be another half hour before that's fixed, I reckon. Another half hour before then, that takes it 6:15, which is when it's dark. If not, we just have to camp on the road, eh?
Putting everything back on again now.
Okay, down again. Let it.
Alright, you go.
See how quickly it is to put it back in.
Me. 50 minutes. This is the road that they told you not to stop on. Of course, we've stopped, which is fine. But it's about to be dark and we do need to camp.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thanks. My O-grade metal work. Maybe Saturday night was because the last time his broke. Mine broke like 20 minutes later.
This first part of Kenya, everyone says it's incredibly dangerous. And the problem is, normally we wouldn't pay too much attention about it, but people told us, don't camp. Just stay in a village or stay somewhere safe.
We've ridden about half an hour off-road. I've camped right next to a tree with something living in the tree. I'm sure it's just a little bird. But yeah, we're right in the wilds of Africa. Cool, huh? So we'll see what happens.
We're preparing the fire so that when the goat comes, at least there's no smoke to cook the meals.
We've got to make a decision, chaps. Are we seriously that hungry, chaps, just before it...
I'm going to have some goat.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'll eat it, because if I eat meat, I wouldn't like to kill it myself, is the truth of the matter, but I eat meat, so I don't have a problem with the meat coming from an animal. That's where meat comes from, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just because it's not packaged in plastic trays and cellophane. It's actually walking around 4 legs. I'm sure they'll kill it very quickly, they won't put a thing. He's gone now, right?
He's gone.
Yeah. It's just the nerves.
The nerves.
I think I still prefer to see it shrink wrapped in a shop as opposed to killed in front of you.
But then don't you think, we buy meat that's just pre-packed in plastic, and we're so far away from the idea that it even came from an animal.
Oh, of course. If we were brought up with killing your own animals and pigs, then we wouldn't be batting an eyelid now. It's only that when it comes to us, it comes in a packet. So we never ever get to see this, do we?
Good point, though.
And I think if it's done professionally, like these guys did it with a minimum of fuss, and
Quickly, yeah,
the
really
goat
quickly.
wasn't in any or apparent distress, then maybe it's not a bad thing for people to see.
But the
I still don't want to eat it.
But you ask some kids, where does milk come from, and they say a shop. They're so just removed from all this kind of stuff. It's so clinical.
They're going to solve the food problems of 9 men, just not number 10. I'm either going with the beef stew and dumplings and gravy.
There we go. Look, here we go. This is the
end product. This is what you see, in a
This is what you get in the butchers, right?
I mean, look at the effort these guys have put in. Man,
hard work.
I changed my mind on the boiling bag. Got to go with the goat.
Oh yeah.
How's it?
It's bloody delicious.
Very good.
I must say, it's really.
Which was the liver's over here?
Do you want liver?
Yeah, I had a bite of liver already.
Yeah. Bits of him are quite tough. Oh, I'm dropping stuff everywhere. The hyenas have got them.
What'd you think of the goat, Charlie? Did you like it?
Oh, it was delicious, actually. I really did.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was really good. It was just the first bite was quite high, quite strong taste to start off with.
It tastes a bit like it smelt when it. The first bite the taste is very reminiscent of the smell of the goat when it jumped out of the car, going meh. You have to get over that and just get on with it.
You can't get better than
this. Killing goats and eating them.
Can you? Yeah. The whole experience, goat, everything. It was just amazing.
So what's the plan for tomorrow, Mac? What do you want to do tomorrow?
The aim was to try and get to this lodge tonight, which we haven't got to clearly. So we'll try and get there, and apparently we can see elephants there, and we'll just get there, and then I think we've agreed that we'll just stay there tomorrow. Because it'll be quite difficult to get there, I think. The road is, by all accounts, really difficult. Our route takes us past a school that was the scene of a horrific massacre some years ago, and as we're going right through, we feel it's somewhere that we should stop.
In Kenya, security forces are trying to quell a vicious bout of inter-clan fighting in the north of the country. It's claimed the lives of 82 people, including 22 children.
This was among the worst episodes of inter-clan violence in Kenya since independence. Blood stains the earth throughout the village. Raiders struck at dawn, killing indiscriminately.
Yeah. So we had the gunshots and I rushed out of my office.
Gabriel's joined us. He's the headmaster of the local primary school here. So he's going to explain to us what happened.
So when I just came out of my office, I saw people who are uniformed and who are, shooting. So I told them, run, run, run. So most of them, those who are 8 and 9, 10 years, they understand. They started running. The others who are very young, 5, 3 years, they don't understand. And they were slaughtered. So most of the other villagers who died were mothers. Because they know that the children are going to school. When they started, those gunshots, they were running towards the school now. But they were caught in between and killed.
Hello, Jambo. Jambo, okay.
Is now this keys is the keys to the class. Is the class prefect.
Ah, very good.
He lost both his parents.
Right.
But he's a very good boy.
Good man.
I was studying the class by 6 o'clock in the morning. When they came in, so many gunshots in the that I hide myself under the desk. Then after they went away, I came out. I was under the desk for more than 3 hours.
So you were there? Yes, he was. Yeah. Yes, he was hiding there. All those hours the battle was on.
3 hours?
Yes. He was the first person to be shot, him. The other 3 were shot on top of him.
So they shot with a gun?
With a gun and also with a spear.
Oh, really? Okay, here.
And this was the gun, the bullet?
Yes.
In and out.
They also injured this small girl. They killed his father. His brother was in class 2. And then they started cutting, But at least that sky is not that very much visible because they got attention very quickly and they responded very well. Her mother was also seriously injured. But she's coming up now very well. It's the mass grave. Altogether, around 60 people are buried here, altogether. There are 1, 2, those 2 are for the school children, and these 3 for their parents who have died, and some of their villagers also. Udah kasih. Normally, some of the belongings of those people are put here, like what you see there now.
It's difficult to, you can't get your conceive of what happened here. You can't possibly imagine what would drive people to do that. They killed 60 villagers and 22 children or something, attacking the school. I mean, the most horrific thing is that all the ones who were old enough to understand when the teacher came out saying run, ran, and all the little toty ones were just standing here, didn't really understand, so they didn't run. I mean, that's just too much. And they still don't know why. They still don't know why, who did it, or what for. Or... Killed like animals with machetes. Found it very, very difficult.
You know, when someone tells you a story like that, I mean, you think, how could someone do that? I mean, how could anybody go to the school, butcher children with machetes and spears and guns, and then take all the livestock, kill other people as well? It's unbelievable why anybody would do that.
It's about children being slaughtered, and it's impossible to process that, isn't it?
This is important to remember that this is the hard bits, you know? And I think about the hard bits is that you get through the other side of them and you go, that was a hard bit. Glad that's over, I don't have to do it again. And then you just feel pleased with yourself that you did it, you know? It's like trying to ride a bus with two wheels down a loose gravel track. They're so huge, these bikes, man. Just huge. I feel like I'm systematically destroying my motorcycle. Riding it over this washboard shit. And it's just shaking my whole bike to bits. Not doing this again, that's for sure. If I do another one, I'll do it on a Jeep or something. I think that aircraft idea is really clever, you know? I think that's the way to do it. Can't concentrate, I'm exhausted, my fucking hands are numb, I can't feel my feet. Just absolute fucking misery, as far as I'm concerned. Ah, dear. I also was trying not to swear so much in this show, you know? Truly making an effort for my dad, mainly. He doesn't like swearing, my dad. So I was really trying to keep it clean. Charlie, stop him anyway. This is going to take 5 minutes again. I can't concentrate on this anymore. Long way down. Europe like bitches and moons, all the way to Cape Town. Ah, shit.
It's difficult because it's incredible scenery that every time you look to the left or right, you go bang like that. You think, oh, must look at the road, must look at the road.
And then is this as bad as this?
I heard it's better, but I can't imagine it's much better.
I like it about as much as I like sticking needles in my eye.
There we are, it's better. I had a couple of cereal bars there. And then I was just reminding myself of one of the lessons learned. Always to eat breakfast, always eat lunch, try, you know, as soon as you don't, your spirits can crash and you get low. Anyway, that's what just happened, so I had a couple of cereal bars. Ditch. And now we're on the last 15-mile push to Marsabit Lodge. I hope there's something nice to see to make all this pain worthwhile.
It's a tough one, actually. Looks like we've made it.
Look at this. Look what we're about to tackle now.
I've ridden my bike from John O'Groats to somewhere where there are elephants. That makes all that horrible off-road worthwhile. Oh my god, elephants! What a gorgeous relief. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Come and have a look at the lodge. Oh my god. Isn't it great? Look, it's something really classic, kind of 50s African lodge about it. I love this, look. Isn't it great? I'd like to come here for a week. Charlie? Charlie, will you show Claudio the elephants, please?
I'm feeling quite good about this, actually, because I've never in my life, ever, have I seen elephants wild. And they're just there. There they are, look. There's a little family with a baby and a mummy and daddy and a sister and a brother and some cousins. I'm completely and utterly blown away.
You do sort of feel like you've earned it, though, right? When you come here, this 150 miles of gnarly road, and then next thing you know, you come to a place like this, you know, and you get to see these elephants.
The elephants came right up close to the restaurant, and we crawled forward on our stomachs and we watched the elephants. It's just an incredible privilege. It was lovely.
About 20 feet. We're about 20 feet away from wild elephants. 20 feet, look at this.
Loads of it. Oh, look, everywhere. Plodding along elephants. We're going off not too many miles today, about 60, 70 miles today. And then we're going to stay at a tribe, apparently, which is very nice.
Right now we're just looking for some petrol. There's supposed to be a petrol station in a few kilometers.
We have the diesel, but we don't have the electricity. That's the problem with the electricity.
And no hand pumping for diesel?
No hand pumping for diesel. We are pumping petrol.
We might have to wait.
Here? Back at the lodge?
Until the
Well, we might have to go back to that lodge and spend another night there.
He said it shouldn't be any more than 8 or 9 hours wait.
So I'm trying to put in a cane to assist you to go on your journey. From the tank to the cane, and then from the cane to the car.
It's good. Another 20.
He's 20?
By the way, that only looks like 19 liters, but I think we better not fight for that extra liter.
Where there's a will, there's a way, guys.
You don't get stranded in Marsabit.
Cholesterol-free, pure vegetable oil for
So
cooking.
we are filling the car.
4x4.
No, we are filling the car the cooking food.
We want the vehicles to be full. Okay.
Let's get another 20 liters, huh?
Until it is full.
Until it's full, okay.
Okay, let's go there. Let's go there to do this.
We are going to fill all.
Where?
We are going to fill all.
If it hadn't had diesel on it, we would have been stuck here till the electricity came back, which could have been tomorrow. I was looking forward to another night at the lodge. Quite like that place. It's beautiful. For the elephants. Another chance to sit and watch the elephants tonight would have been nice.
Here we are travelling south from there. We're going to go down to the Losai National Park, stay there, maybe try and meet some tribes people there, which would be amazing. And I feel much better today on the bike. The roads are much easier. I'm actually quite enjoying it today, I have to say. These ladies with huge amounts of wood on their back. Hello! Jumbo, Jumbo, Jumbo! Hello!
Just doing that every day, yeah? Look how old that lady is. She must be older than my mum.
This is the turn off for us to ride where this tribe is. It's like cutting the corner, it's a little shortcut. I hope it's not sandy, I hope it's like this. It is a bit sandy, it's good though. Oh dear, is this going to be wobbly all the way? It is. Oh well, soft hands, lean back, power through. Most of it might be quite nice at this. Much more relaxed than this today. Riding on the sand, not having a fall.
You okay?
You okay? Yeah, are you okay?
Sand is my favorite. I really don't know what to do with this fucking sand. Once you hit it, once you catch it, what do you do?
Usually your instinct is to throttle off.
I don't. I really give more speed, but then it just throws me further.
Poor you, mate. Are you okay?
I'm fine, yeah.
You sure?
Let's hope the bike is okay.
I nearly rode into you, yeah. It's a classic example of following too closely.
Yeah.
I'm always saying it, and you know, do as I say, not as I do.
I was wondering what would happen if a lion suddenly ran up, you know? I had these visions of, you know, you see in wildlife programs, lions kind of arcing in behind some gazelle or antelope or something. They come in from the side and then they pick up speed and bend round behind you. And I was wondering, I would have no idea if that was happening behind me right now. A big female lioness coming tearing in behind me, you know? I suppose that would be the best way, is not to know, you know?
These are amazing here.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Do you have this one?
These are the Samburu people. Now the reason why they're building this new village, next month in July there's a ceremony. They're going to circumcise their boys. So they have moved from their main villages. They have put their location here, they will put up all this camp and prepare for the ceremony. Okay. He's one of the boys that is going to be circumcised. Next month?
Yes.
Utatayario next month?
Yes.
As you can see, they're just setting up their tents. They're just erecting the tents, these frames, and then they cover them in animal hides. And but we rocked up, and so we had to speak to the chief, and through our fixer, he negotiated to let us camp. Part of the deal was he said his wife gave birth yesterday, and she was in a great deal of pain. And was there someone in our team who could help him with his wife to get rid of the pain? So Di, our medic, has gone up there to see if he can help. I hope we can. I'd like to get the tents up so that we can get changed and then just kind of, it's nice to get that done, isn't it? And then we can start mixing with these people. It really is amazing. We're really out there, aren't we? It's amazing, just amazing.
This young girl's, this is her fourth child, and everything's normal. She just bled heavily. But the girls in there have delivered so many babies. I took their advice on whether that was normal or not, and apparently she does this every time. So really all we can do is give it some multivits with some iron tablets and some mild paracetamol for the pain.
It seems so sort of basic, but there seems to be a sense of community. When we spoke earlier to the tribesmen to see if we could come and film here, all the men got together and they all decided, let's stand by the tree and talk about this. And they were all very open, and the discussion was open, and they decided that it was a good idea.
You're a good-looking man, you see? Look, we can go even closer. Oh, yes. Strong. Yeah. Dude, don't look at his nose.
It's kind of mad, look.
Mm. 70 boys will be circumcised.
70 boys.
Yeah, that initiation is quite sensitive because the boy should not embarrass his father by twitching his eye or his toe when they're doing the thing. He has to be like completely blank or dead when they do the initiation.
God, that's not me. I don't think I passed out.
Finika, alafu nakata hapo sasa. Ile mboro ya ndani napitisha, naweka kitu ingine akwe mbili.
They cut the first skin down on all four sides of the penis, and then they split it. They make a hole on top of the skin, and they pass the penis through the skin. So the whole foreskin hangs below the penis. But the penis is now passed through the foreskin, so until it heals, the foreskin just hangs. It heals eventually.
And the kid's not got to show any pain or any nothing. He's got to be strong.
If you say if it's his son and he twitches, he will kill him.
Generally, they're quite healthy. I've got some sweets for these guys in a minute. Well, we think they're sweets, but they're actually multivits as well. So they're great kids, aren't they? They're great kids. They just, if you take your arm from them for a minute, you find their hands in your pockets, you know.
That is,
it's. You can see the stitching in it. Look, it's like a big mat of.
Yeah, there's a better.
Oh yeah, here. You can see it here. But it's all stuff of the earth. It's wood and skins and bark, and apart from the leather, the plastic bottles for water, it's all natural stuff. As you look around, what strikes you is there's not many man-made things.
It just complicates everything, I suppose, doesn't it? And they probably can't afford it anyway. Hey, Jumbo. You well?
That's so good.
Wow, look at this. It's lovely inside. Oh, it's beautiful. Cool. This is amazing. It's so cozy, isn't it?
So cozy. Here? Yeah. Okay? Yeah.
Oh, yes. But it's so cozy.
It's kind of like an igloo, but in the heat. It's the same shape, isn't it?
I didn't expect it to look like this at all. And how long does it take her to build it?
Ulize mama. Kumaliza kabisa.
Yeah, kumaliza kabisa.
Okay. Yeah. She said this is just temporary, but to complete the whole house will take 4 days.
4 days?
Yeah.
I like it.
It's cool, isn't it?
So cool, yeah. Can you hear the animals? Just the noise of all those hundreds
all
of animals.
All these are made of leather.
Oh, these are... What are these for?
This is for carrying luggage on the donkey.
Oh, I see, okay.
Saddles.
On the donkey.
I thought they were snowshoes.
Yeah. And these are for leading the donkey or no?
Yeah, this is for tying.
Tying
the stuff.
How many people live in this place?
What is it? Okay, up to 6 people.
In this space, right?
Space.
Tatu? Bwana yake?
She's
Na bwana yake?
gorgeous, isn't she?
Do people here in this tribe have only one wife, or do they marry more than one lady?
They have more than one wife.
How many wives does our chief have?
2 wives.
2 wives. And how many children?
Watoto ngapi?
Mmoja ile amesha leo.
Na ya kwanza?
Na ile ya kwanza.
His first wife has 6 children. His second wife has 4 children.
Wow.
That's 10 children in total.
And does he think he'll get a third wife?
Labda.
Yeah. Said maybe.
I think if I asked my wife for a second wife, I think she would beat me. Thank you very much.
Santisana.
Santisana.
Thank you very much.
Santisana.
Thank you. We go out. Yeah. Thank you very much. Oh my God, it's too gorgeous. We've got to go. Jimmy, put the dog down.
Run off now,
Don't do it yourself. Don't do it yourself.
He's gonna get eaten by a lion if I don't take him.
How are you going to get him back home?
How much if you have to put the dog down, Jimmy? Put the dog down, Jimmy. Oh, here you go.
I'm sure he didn't mean that. Do you think, Claudio, when he said that? If it was my son, I'd kill him, he said. I'm sure that's just like, he's the chief, so he has to say.
When is the ceremony?
I don't know. Could be possible. There's nothing that's done to.
I thought the whole
No
point
local anesthetic of any sort.
There's like an enormous amount of, to us, crazy and insane, practices to prove that you're a man to come of age. And this is I guess this is theirs. I had an amazing time. It was just a real extraordinary. I was looking, oh my God, look where we are. Look where we are. Amazing.
Jumbo, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you very much. Good. I see.
No. It does get you going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, here in Kenya.
We came off the road here, so we have to get back on this road, down the gravel, onto some tarmac, to here, Lewa Wildlife Conservancy.
Shall we?
Let's roll.
Claudio's down. I think this stuff's beaten him a bit. 1, 2, 3. I really don't know what to do. Ewan's down in the fish.
Go.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Look at that. We haven't done 3 miles today, and we've already had 10 problems.
It's like inches deep. It's not even sand. Look, it's like water. That's weird stuff, isn't it? This fresh fit. Look, it's like soup.
The problem is the bikes weigh so much, and this you have to go wherever this stuff wants to take you, you know. And if you follow that bike and it weighs 800 pounds, it's going to take you out, you know.
When you watched Ewan ride this morning, his style on the bike is much more fluid now. He's letting the bike do the work, and he's got a good balance, and you can see it. Probably not quite as good as Charlie, but he's still very competent. But I think we will notice that Claudio's quite sort of stiff on the bike as opposed to the others. So when he goes into stuff, he locks up a bit, and then he just drops it.
We're all coming off today, but it's all right. We're just carrying on, chip away at this, and then we'll get back to that nice, I can't believe I'm saying it, that really nice gravelly road. good team spirit though this morning. Feels really good. Everyone's helping each other out. Charlie, Claudio, me, all the boys. Feels great. Oh, I see this is the first river bit. Oh, God. Yep.
It's interesting this morning, isn't it?
You're clean, you're not
Fesh, which is like beige talcum powder. And then all the rocks of yesterday, and then a bit of mud.
Might be an idea just to clear some of that surface mud.
Tips for mud. High gear, third.
Walk it across.
Then just waddle across?
Just walk across with the bike.
Walk across?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I reckon.
I'll bring my bike up. We'll do mine first.
Always go for the easiest option.
We're going to get up the side of all this mud by going through the bush, and then we come to a river, and then we've got to get across that river, which is difficult.
How do you see this place? It's very muddy.
Look at the road, it looks like a canal.
We will make it.
If we can't go through here, I mean, it would mean having to go
back the same way we came.
Through all that soft sand and all that shit, and then all the way back round the way we came yesterday. I mean, it's like 100 miles.
Well, I was laughing earlier because I thought we had come to the problem area and it was only about 10 feet wide, but look at this.
The key thing is to get one of our cars over so the winch is on the other side. Because if you drive it off the back wheel, it's just going to get stuck and it definitely will just carve itself into the mud. Right, that's definitely not the way to go. That's gnarly stuff.
Put it on with that D shackle.
Look at that. We're never going to get that one out.
Fuck. I think it's amazing how such a small amount of mud can cause such problems. It's only what, 80 meters or something like that. That's it, and it's it stops everything.
If we do go this way, maybe that bit's okay. Because this bit, it was okay, wasn't it? As it went through.
Yeah. If you get one through, then it's easy to get the others through. At the moment, then no one's going anywhere.
I've got this horrible feeling we're going to have to turn back.
I thought the Ethiopian shoulder dance was amazing, but that hip thing's quite something else, isn't it?
Don't panic, it's all okay.
I got here, sorted it all out.
So from that point of view, we're under control. Apart from Charlie pulling wheelies again.
This is called
It's African massage.
African massage.
Sniff TV again, and we've got a little bit of gorilla poo, maybe 37, 36 minutes old.
She just looked at us with this open expression as she breastfed her child. It was extraordinary.
It is bad politics, it is bad leadership, and in the end it hasn't benefited anyone.
I've never seen anything like that, yeah.
Never, and all the broken heads and humans inside the ring. I don't know if that's good or bad.
ተሻገር 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 ተከለል ተከለል በጎ